Hello boys, it's me, Kuroyoshi here, and welcome back to my 100% blind playthrough of the new Pokémon Snap for Nintendo Switch. In the last episode, we left off doing some more interesting things, and I guess more importantly, we're in an Outway cave trying to get some of the stuff done, and now we're going to try and complete every single request in this area. And we'll be starting by kind of just doing all the stuff in the normal route first. I have 3 requests that I could potentially get, but other than that, I'm kind of just going to be doing these as I go along and hope for the best. So, we did a couple of score runs the last time. Now we're going to ignore most of those and focus entirely on doing other stuff. However, the first part can actually appear until the end of the route, so I'll kind of just show off some other things. Like, for example, you can these pumpkin vu with a fluff route, and for a rare request, I'm going to have to hit all 3 of them for one of them to show up later in the final area that's big. You can only get a full of them by doing all that, so it is kind of tricky. I'm focusing on the Crobat one first because that just happens to be one of the trickier ones to get. Also, there are multiple different requests to do in just this area alone. In fact, I believe there's like at least 3 different requests to do here. Because I don't want to take too long, I'm going to go ahead and just focus my attention on these Crogunks first. There are some Geodude I could potentially find elsewhere. I'll go ahead and use scans to try and locate them. Okay, actually I can do this. Alright. So, getting a photo of Geodude climbing the wall is required for something. So these Koguk are actually trying to sing something. That's what makes it so weird. I just recently rediscovered on how to do this properly. Alright, there's the float. That's what you have to get a photo of for the request to be completed. It's arguably the toughest of the requests to do in here, so we are doing that first. Now, if I miss the Crobat one, there is another bonus request I could do along with this, if things are needed. I guess it really just depends on our stuff, though. Take a quick photo of her. I know she's probably not hired. Okay, now for the most important part. Probably the trickiest part is the fact that these Crobat, eventually one of them will stop, and you want that one to get hit by a fluff fruit. It's kind of tricky. This one may take a couple of tries, and this is also another one where I could potentially get multiple attempts at it by just doing our stuff. Also, there's another backup one I can do. So, to do that one, I have to play the melody here. Have the melody played while he's doing that. And I'll trigger Hydreigon to fly really low near the water. It's kind of tricky. You basically have to trigger it at a specific point. It could be kind of tight. There's still multiple ones we could do here. As per usual, I don't want to end these without getting anything done, so we'll go ahead and quit right now to show the players to Professor to see if we get some stuff done. Pretty much any climbing photo is a 3-star. What I like about this is that you can clearly see that he's literally fully off the ground, like nothing happened. It's actually kind of funny to take a look at.
Let's do this.
There's quite a few ones to get, but right now the Crobat one is the one I'm focusing on. Unfortunately, the way it's set up, if we miss more than the ones we need, we'll have to waste a lot of time going through that just to get our stuff done. So I saw some requests complete, so I think the two important ones that I wanted to get done are complete. And also, we maxed out this research level. Now there's only two areas known now that we can max out our research on. I'm gonna be doing those kind of just off screen just to set up something, but until then, we'll kind of just be doing some other stuff as well. The entire route for this area is very tricky, by the way. The way you're supposed to do this is very tight, really annoying, and not a lot of stuff to do. If there's one thing I've learned, though, this first area tends to have nothing in it, so we'll go ahead and turbo through at least this section to get to the end, and then we'll take our backup photo in the middle area next, and that will be our North Star photo of Clefairy. So I actually did the thing right. I just have to throw even more Illumina orbs at them while continuously playing the melody. So I've basically used that to figure out a buffer strategy for it. But there's also something else to do as well. I'll go ahead and use that as my other backup photo. Okay. So the buffer strategy for this is to basically spam the crap out of this. In front of Alexa, and after you hit one of them with an Illumina orb, if you do another specific interaction afterwards, which you just saw happen, that's what's supposed to happen for the request to complete itself. They'll kind of use their wings to start flying around, and it becomes really funny. Now, I want to remember these Crobat for later, because these ones actually trigger a secret route to appear. This one requiring a Melty, the first one simply requiring a Fluffer. We have to wake up those two if we want to go to the secret route later. Yeah, there's another secret route in this. If there wasn't already multiple, then you'd be surprised there's even more of those. To make this part a bit easier, we want to zoom to around this section so we could get a more consistent hit on this Crobat. But because we didn't get it, we have to go for the backup instead. I'm going to do another zoom in strategy for this one because of that. I want to zoom to around this section. Then play the melody as soon as he approaches a specific spot. I didn't see if Fine Dragon is down here or not. It's kind of tricky. I'm trying to focus on him. You know what? Because that failed so badly, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to retry it. So we have to do the Clefairy by the end, but that's fine. Again, all of the central parts could be done in any order you want and with multiple other effects. Also, now I think of it, if I'm fast enough, I could probably get them both done, so I will be attempting that. If I miss the Clefairy one, oh well. Yes, you have to throw extra Illumina orbs, as you see, at the Clefairy, because if you do that, they will do an interesting effect there. Also, I think I needed to just have the melody playing a little bit sooner for that to work. But anyway, if we want to do it this way, we have to use the Illumina orb, lure him out of the area, and then as soon as he exits, you have to throw an Illumina orb at the Krogunk. If you get it just exactly right, Gengar will start slowly moving over to them, and this is when he's gonna pull a prank on him and kind of brutally awaken this Krogunk. Yeah, Gengar is a big prankster. So pretty much anytime you, okay, so this is the true secret. The game tells you, oh, you could just let these Clefairy dance, but their dance on their own is not actually enough for them to do a 3-star. To get the second pose, which you already saw me go for, you have to throw Illumina orbs at them. By the way, if I miss the same trick again, I'm simply gonna lure Pardos over with Fluff Fruit instead as my backup. Just because it's a more consistent strategy to go for. And also, I'll probably have to do that one later anyway, so I'll go ahead and skip the secret path again. The second time, we will be taking the secret route, though. Alright, we're gonna just hold this even longer now. Go all the way to the end where we just start falling down. Maybe hit him this time. Okay, we've hit him this time. If you see this animation, that means you are successful. To make this more consistent, are going to watch him and you'll see, instead of him doing his normal pose, he's going to fly a couple of circles and eventually land on the ground. Want to stay focused to this same Crobat. Eventually, he'll be forced to land because of absolute exhaustion. And this is where we have to get him with the Fluff Fruit. It's kind of tricky. This one could very well take him multiple tries to get through, so as per usual, we probably want to mash the button and just hope we can get him to eat one. Okay. Okay. It was not the best photo, but at least we got a photo of it. Just in time as well. Okay, that's nice that we got that over with. Because there are 3 different ones you can do on this route, and none of them are available in the same way. It can be kind of tricky. While I wait for the next one, I'll go ahead and take a look at a couple of our stuff. In case you're wondering, the Clefairy photo that will count, the only one that will count, is them floating in midair, which you can only get to happen after you hit them with another Luminorb. For Gengar, pretty much any time he's doing the prank is a 4-star. And yes, this is also a 4-star photo of Crobat by getting him on the ground here. If I were to take those, I think whichever one was the earliest one of them would probably be of S. So here we go. Request complete. Request complete. And there you go. 3 requests completed in 1 run. Not bad start, but there's still a lot more to do. When I do the next couple of them, I'll be focusing on taking the ones that go to the secret route. So because of that, I'm going to be doing a very tight amount of steps for the next couple of tries after I do a couple of our tricks. But first, we're going to see a secret route appear for the first time. I probably should have gone for this route first instead of going for Crobat. Just to say that I got it out of the way. And I'll go ahead and practice the Pumpkin Boo section while I'm going here just to make it a little bit easier. So there's 4 Pumpkin Boo I have to take a memory of. If I hit one of them with a orb, they do kind of a glowing effect. And you need to hit each one of them for them to appear in the final area a little bit later. Not many people are aware of where exactly they appear, so that is why I'm trying to confirm that. That's the only use this first area of the game really is for this specific spot. Is the fact that you need to find the Pumpkin Boo hiding around this area in order to make things work. Sorry if I'm a little bit tired, but because I don't know. I think I had a good sleep, but one of the hour nights I did not have a good sleep, so I'm not sure if I'm still doing well or not. If we ever do get Crobat to land, I'm not going to go for this right now, but I think if we get Crobat to land a little bit later, I believe there may be a way. Maybe it landing will be its 3-star. That's just a prediction, though. I can't guarantee that that's what it will actually happen, but anyway, yeah. I just figured out something. I think you could probably actually get all 4 of those poses to happen all in the same run. Oh, okay. Yeah. Jeez, I need to be a little bit faster there. Okay. Yeah, alright. The Lumino Orb wakes it up. I should probably take a photo of it sleeping before I do anything else. Anyways. Yeah. So, for this part to work, you have to wake up both of the Crobat, otherwise you'll be unable to head to the next route here. Beyond that, I don't actually know what's gonna happen. This causes there to be more Crobat here than usual, and for some reason doing all of that causes an analyzation to appear, which you can take to then enter the secret area, which finally allows us to see what exactly is behind here. In fact, it also gives us another potential different area for Goodra. But this is the only part we want to see right now. This can be kind of tricky to do, because there's a hidden crystal bloom somewhere. I'm still trying to find that. Oh, there it is. Okay. I had to be very, very quick with that. So getting that photo allows you to get the bonus that you will need. And as per usual with these secret routes, once you take them, you can no longer quit research to get out a little bit sooner. So you have to go for the full route to reach the ending here. See the animation cycle here. Again, every time you see this, this costs about 6 seconds if you're doing 100% RAM. Okay, alright, so we did get the new effect for Pumpkin Boo. It's a good thing I took that, because I figured something like that would be good. Okay, pretty much any photo of them inflated is a 4-star. This first one is a little bit more centered, so we'll take that as a second. And yeah, I was right. So Crobat sleeping is a 3-star, because again, it's not often they would actually sleep very much. So we got Crobat completed on the same run as this, so that helps out a lot. And I think I can complete Driftroon as well if I via Fluff Route and see its Happy Vibes pose, which I've not seen yet, so I will try and do that. And from the looks of it, I did complete the request. By the way, we probably won't actually complete a lot of the requests, because also, yeah, for some reason another one appears. Also, I didn't notice if, okay. I didn't notice if that request got completed or not. I'll see. It showed it unlocking, but I didn't notice if I got the good photo with Drifter or not. If that doesn't complete, I can just complete it in the next episode. For now, I'll just have to figure out that it's probably complete, because that's the one I was going for. And yes, I didn't actually unlock that one, but I still... You can complete some of them early if you know what to do. It just depends on whether or not you do it on the first try or not. It's kind of tricky. Oh, there was a different pose that I could potentially get for its 3-star. Alright. Not sure if that's actually a Happy Vibe pose or not. It's not easy to tell if I'm getting the right thing or not, since you can't see their faces at all. Okay, so now I'm going for the High Dragon pose. So there's gonna be a high dragon up here. So to get the high dragon one, we have to wait for it to start flying downwards. And if we play a melty on it, that will cause it to do a specific reaction. I'll go ahead and take a photo of that in case I miss it so I get a star photo while I wait for it. And that will cause it to fly very close to the water. And then, because I don't know what else to do, we're going to mash the fluff fruit button and try and get one of these to land in the water. And if this is done correctly, he'll go around and pick the fluff fruit up suddenly and eat it out of nowhere. It's kind of surprising. And for Rampardos, you have to lure him over with the different fluff fruit all the way over to this maze, which will cause him to ram his head, and that gets some interesting parts done. So yeah, Rampardos is not as kind of a Pokemon as you first thought, so by doing that, he kind of just rams his head against the wall, which I think is kind of funny. That one is a little bit more tighter. If I missed that one, I could just go for Burst Mode to get that. Okay, that's why I was worried it would be a 2-star instead of a 3-star. Looks like our backup pose was a 2-star, and we did get one 4-star photo. We'll go ahead and take that. And we got one despite him not really charging the best. Well, at least take it, but we may have to redo it. It depends. Okay, one of the Geodude getting angry is also 4-star pose. I took that thinking that was a 4-star pose, and sure enough, I was correct. Alright, we're gonna finish this off and see if we completed both requests. Okay, we completed the request. That's the most important part. I'm probably gonna have to do a couple more runs to get Hydraean to do that pain as well, so I'm thinking of doing another run and chatting Hydraean with the Melody again, just to get its 2-star pose. It'll be mostly quick, but we'll see. Also, maybe we can get it while we do a couple of other things. But anyways, we got the one done that we were right. Now that one was really quick, so it can be a little bit crazy. But anyway, this next part is probably the most difficult part of the entire game. It's very tight. Oh, and there we found another pumpkin. Oh, kind of just chilling on that side. Some of these can be kind of tricky to land on them. That one in particular, at the second one, is probably the most tightest. So this next part I'm about to do, I haven't really talked about much. This is probably the tightest part of the Fuse thing here. Also, I noticed the Jiltic did kind of a jumping pose when he goes to the side, so we're going to distract them, get a photo when one of them is in the air, and I think we might be able to get something different. So we'll go ahead and take that to try and get some interesting things there. And this next part is probably the tightest section, but it doesn't actually start for a little while, so we'll kind of just continue for this normally. Then instead of taking the route from before, we're going to take the alternative route. Now, if we do this correctly, instead of taking the regular route into the cave, we're going to take yet another alternative route into the cave. It's kind of tight. This one I do actually know how to get, though, so supposedly it should be hopefully okay. Actually forgot which one's which, so because I don't like pausing, I'm gonna just wait on here for a little bit. Okay, here it is. So this is the one we're gonna be focusing on. This one is really tight, but if we get it just right, we can clear quite a few requests by doing it. We will still take if things don't work. Okay. Okay, so now once we go to the alternative route, there's quite a few things we could do to make some interesting things appear. We didn't really get a good photo of him doing our stuff. There we go. We are missing a Geodude 2-star pose, so I went ahead and did that to see if I could fit that in with this attempt as well. Hopefully that will work. If you're wondering where the last Pugaboo is, you have to take the alternative route before you can find it. So it's kind of sneaky. There's also a Sleeping Sableye we could potentially get, but right now we're gonna completely ignore that. So now we're gonna do the same thing as we did before. We're gonna throw Illumina Orbs at all 3 Pokemon down here. Get them to dance. That'll summon Diancie. Then we're gonna throw an Illumina Orb and take its picture. We have to wait on it a little bit. And that'll be a special effect. And doing all of that calms the Mawile down so they'll no longer be angry at you. Now what you want to do is take this scan route, and from here you can do other stuff. This Mawile before that was basically just angrily angry at you for a long time. But by doing that, we can get this. Yeah, I'm wondering too. Okay, there is one that I do want to get, so let's go for this one first. If I mess this one up, I can go for an alternative strategy where I do something else here. So now back onto this. Alright, so now we can go to the secret area, which will allow us to find a hidden Pokemon. This is the only area where we can encounter a Pokemon known as Jolteon. So we'll figure out where it is, take a picture of it for some fun. And if we throw a fruit to... We'll kind of just throw a fruit to kind of lead them near the area. What we want is for them to go near Jolteon. And if you see that phase, that makes them jump out. Okay. Looks like we didn't actually get it. Now, the reticle is kind of tricky to get. This one, very strange for some reason. Oh, we have a Sleeping Eye Dragon. I don't believe I've ever seen that either. We'll go ahead and take a photo of that. We had to look at some backups, but we got it to work, though. So that was our window to get that, and we unfortunately missed it, but we did get the other Pokemon that were really important. Okay, good. I did get a 2-star pose from that, so we don't have to deal with that anymore. We didn't get the 4-star pulse I wanted, so we can't do that, unfortunately. So that Diancie pose is probably the most important one because, again, getting that, we are able to calm the new male into doing something else. We're going to take this photo here and get a photo of its discharge here. This one's more centered. Okay, I was correct about that being a 3-star, so I'm glad I took that. So if that worked a little bit more properly, that would have been 3 quests completed in 1 attempt. This is another one where every time you mess up, it can be very slow to do stuff. Now I think of it, I think one of the requests I complete was already getting that because I didn't see your request clear pop up, so I think that's a little bit different. Now, what makes that part so difficult is the fact that we have to do our stuff. Also, with Jolteon registered, we've registered every species of Pokemon of Durus to their Pokedex. That's every Pokemon on Durus Island. Well done. You worked hard to capture those heart-pounding moments on that snowy ice remote island.
Excellent.
My heartfelt congratulations. Every entry in your Photodex has now been filled in. Feel free to keep taking photos and make your Photodex how you want it. And above all, have fun. So that's our main part of the 100% done. This is what I was initially going for, was to get all the Pokemon done, but I thought I would make it more interesting. We've also registered all the photos of Eevee and all of its evolutions, which I think is really nice. So we're getting a lot of bonus stuff, and unfortunately there's not a lot else we get. As you see, there's no 100% ending for this game. The only ending for it is the... So, it's kind of tricky, but... Hey, there we go, though. Again, to get the rest of the requests complete, we have to do another thing to get some of those done. Actually, no way, I already told you about that, right? So to get some of the requests done in this, we have to take that alternative route, and that one, unlike some of the others, that will only appear when you get the... at that one Mawile to come down. You don't actually have to feed it a Fluffhoot. You just have to calm it down for it to get its helpful stars. Also, when Deontay appears, I'm going to go ahead and hit it during one of its elevations, just to make sure I get a 2-star pose of it. But anyways, if I did everything correctly, there's only a couple things left we can really get on the regular route. So with that, I'm kind of just gonna those other stuff. So now if I want to, I could take a photo of the sleeping Sableye for another bonus while I wait here. So again, we're gonna toss Illumina Orbs at every single Pokemon to get Deontay to appear. This time around, as it appears, we'll take a couple photos of it.
Really?
You don't have to take a photo of it the second time. And yes, there's no way that Mawile will actually move on any other research level. Mainly on level 2, I guess, is the first time you enter this spot. The only way to get it to move is to do stuff. Alright. As you can see, it's kind of tricky to get. That's probably one of the trickier photos to get because the way you aim the reticle is very precise. But we went ahead and took a backup photo there to make things a little bit interesting.
How was it?
Oh, I did actually get a photo of Joltik in there. Again, it's hard to know when exactly Joltik will be riding Jolteon, so I kind of just mashed photos hoping for the best, and I managed to get it that time on the second try there. And, looks like this pose is a free star. That's probably a difficult pose to find, so I'll go ahead and take that. Then we'll take Deonce's 2-star from this, and then go back in it later to get its 1-star photo later. But anyways, that should be Joltik joined completed. Once we get it done. The Jolteon one does not count towards that, by the way. And there we go. Okay, good. Good. That's the hard request. One of the hard requests done. Now there's only one more to do in this alternative route, and then we're done. But we'll probably continue through it some more because we still need to get Jolteon's other poses as well. So we'll go ahead and take quick photos of him as he appears in our different spots. So we will be doing 4 more attempts on a specific spot. And this is what makes Cyberset so brutal, is the fact that you have to do each of these routes 4 times at minimum just to get the different photos. Okay, so for this second part, instead of wearing Joltik to Jolteon using the specific setups, we have to run back to the secret route, but this, instead of doing the same thing as we did before, we have to throw... Instead of doing the same thing as we did before, or doing some of the other stuff, we have to hit Jolteon with multiple fluff fruit to get it to come out of its nearby hiding hole. And then once it's completely out, we then have to use more fluff fruit to lead it to a hidden pumpkin boo located on the corner where we can get it using discharge on that. We have to get a photo of it using discharge on that particular pumpkin boo to get our quest completed. That unfortunately cannot be avoided. In fact, I think taking that pose right there instead of a 1-star pose would have been better for its 4-star, because that would have saved an attempt for me going in here. But oh well, that's just stuff that happens. Oh, and yes, I do want a turbo mode for this section because it does take a really long time to get stuff. I will still slow down in this section just to make sure the Deonce actually appears. Gonna take multiple photos of it to make sure a 1-star is included. And then we get her to do the calming light again. Alright, well, there we go. We're gonna continue going through other stuff. If you hear sounds, my apologies. My brother's friends is here, and sometimes they tend to be a little bit loud, but that's fine. If I talk over this, I think it won't really matter. But yeah, just like I mentioned, we're going to do the thing. I'm going to focus a little bit for this next section because it is a little bit tight. I don't actually know where the pumpkin boo is. I think it's actually behind us. So we have to throw 2 fluff fruit of it in a row. And when it jumps out, that's when we can get it to go towards the fluff fruit. I'll go ahead and take a photo of it now while it's eating as a backup. And I don't actually recall where the next spot is, so we'll go ahead and wait. Let's see here. It looks like it's just walking. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's all the way on the right. That's kind of difficult. Again, I'm not really supposed to know how that works. And take some photos of Pumpkin Boo. Maybe grab a quick photo of it eating something while we go into this the next time. I have 2 backup photos I can take of Jolteon before I will have to redo everything. And I'll start by taking him eating the fluff fruit just because I wanted to make sure I had one of those as well. Okay, there we go. Alright. At least we're getting some new photos registered in our Photodex, which makes the Pokemon, gets the Pokemon a little bit closer to completion, which is nice. Now this is not the end of this too. I still have to do the Steelix part in Outway Cave. Or I guess it's Illumina. The Illumina spot in this area, as well as getting a request done along with a 4-star request there. Again, it's very tight.
Good luck.
You're right. Okay, I'm just gonna zoom through the entire first section since, again, it doesn't really matter. We'll be needing to hit all the pumpkin blues later, and I'll figure out some stuff after that. I do know where 2 of them are, so I guess that's a good help, but figure out where the other ones are might help me out a little bit, so I'm gonna try and find them. Again, most of these are really hidden, and you can only see this request even get completed, the one with Pumpkinboo, by taking the secret route but not actually taking the regular route after that. That's why a secret route is so important. We still haven't found the sleeping Sableye yet. I don't know a good way to figure that out, so I'll just go to here. I think we did finally find it. Okay, well, we found a Sableye by doing that. By the way, I threw those so late because I was going towards something else. Also, that's a very well hidden Crystal Boom. Let's take a photo of it while we're here. Now, it's not all bad if we mess up. There is a couple of backup stuff we can get. For one, we can actually practice mashing the scan button here. And there's a hidden Crystal Boom that we have to hit. And I want to know exactly where that is, so I'll do that and also start spamming orbs here. If we spam the orbs enough, we can hit a hidden Crystal Boom to make another Diancie appear. Yeah, there's multiple of them. That is what I'm going to try and look for. It's very tricky the way that works. Okay, there it is. If you don't hit it early enough, no effect will actually happen. For the correct effect, if you did the right thing. Also, I don't think I even got anything. I think that has to be a reset, unfortunately. It's the only really big use we got out of this is knowing exactly where to do that other trick thing. But other than that, we didn't actually get anything. Yes, I did check, and I'm pretty sure we didn't get anything to happen. So we didn't get Diancie to appear, and we still missed that other request. So we have to go through this entire thing again. And as you can see, I'm not cutting this out because I want to show you how long this takes. It can be kind of tricky sometimes. And yes, I will definitely be trying to make sure that I complete Jolteon while I'm in this area, because otherwise it'll make going for that a little bit harder. Oh, there's another Pumpkinboo. think I got a new photos for it by using scan, so I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, this time we got the Deontay to appear. Now we don't really need any photos of Deontay. In fact, we won't see any more until a couple of other stuff happens. So again, by doing all of that, we calm one of the Mawile down, which allows us to go for the secret route. And I'll skip to this part. Okay, well now we know where the hidden Punkaboo is, at least. So it's actually on the far left. It's even more crazy. Okay, now I actually see it. Okay, that makes it a lot better. By hitting it with 2 Flufffoot in a row, we can get it to appear. Now we have to lure it towards the Pumpkinboo, which is all the way on the cliff area. There's not a good way to get him to move towards this area. Just have to... so she goes all the way over here. We'll use multiple to make sure she goes all the way through. Oh, and then I have to throw an Illumina Orb at him. That's another thing I forgot. And again, I have multiple different photos I take. So my first backup will be, if I miss that again, which I did, I'll take a backup 1-star photo to at least finish off Jotion, so we don't have to deal with that end. And then that'll just be the request. Okay, we did get a 2-star photos for Pumpkinboo, so that helps out a lot. I'll take the first one for Jotion, because that's its 1-star. Okay. Nice. Alright. Complete another page. So now if we finish this last request, we don't have to deal with that thing again. Also, I think you kind of understand now what's going on, so I'll go ahead and just return when I get back to the spot. Okay, I am back in the hidden area. If we do this correctly, this will be the last time we have to visit this hidden route, and then we could just take the main route from now on. Also, though, once we do get into the regular route, this next part will be very difficult and also pretty precise. Alright. Whoa. Well, that was a bad bounce. Might lure it away from the area. One of the toughest parts about this is when the Flufffoot appear in the different areas, they bounce over to a different spot before they can actually get you near the area, so it can get really difficult to do stuff. Okay, well, we got one of the effects that we were looking for. It was tricky, but we got Jotion to use Discharge. So that's an idea of how you get it. And as you see, you don't have to let Jotion eat the Flufffoot. You could just use the Illumina Orb on it the moment it gets close to Pumpkinboo. And then it'll get shocked. It's kind of tight, though, to get. Any 4-star photo of Jotion will count, as long as it's in the nearby area. And also, we accidentally got a 2-star Mawile photo. That one I wasn't even going for, but it seems like I was missing that anyway. Not a lot of points, but at least we completed that. And we did get the quest complete. Good, good. You don't have to do that one anymore. Now we'll kind of just show some of the steps for probably actually the hardest request in this game. I've talked about other hard requests, but this is actually the hardest request. We're not going to actually make many attempts at it. However, I will show you the general idea of how you're supposed to do it. but is very tricky. And from what I know, it has to be done in zoom out mode. Okay, while I do this, I will try and hit the pumpkin boo while I'm waiting. So we'll try and faux orbs to hit every single one of them. Each of them are very difficult to hit in their own way. You have to hit 4 of them to get a big one to appear. If we get the big one to appear, then all we have to do is take a picture of it, and that's that. It's actually fairly straightforward. I think it automatically gives us a 4-star just for seeing it. Because it looks, ends up looking a lot bigger than it usually does. If you're not aware of where all of the pumpkin boo are, it's often better to just spam the crap out of the scan here. And if you see a pumpkin boo appear, okay, I just found another one there. So now I know where the 3rd one is. It's on the right over there. Fortunately, the last one I know does not appear until the secret route. So now we no longer have to deal with the other thing. There is actually one other request that I will do before we go back to this. I'll look at that as I go into this specific spot here. Now, there is quite a couple of backups that can happen, and one of the backups that you can go for is actually still getting DNC here. Alright. So probably the tightest part of the entire quest that actually gets the request complete happens at the very beginning of the part where we have to hit the crit and crystal boom almost immediately, and this is extremely tight. Not a really good way to do this, so you basically just have to smack Illumino orbs like crazy and hope you hit it on the first try. If you see a Vivian appear as you go out of the area, then that you know you're in the right course. The next spot you also have to get is to get all 4 carbon kit as well. Again, the hidden crystalline is very tight. Then if you play the melody with all of them out, another Beyonce should appear. We're just waiting on her to spawn now. Then we're gonna use a Lumino Orb on Beyonce, which will trigger an effect. This is the effect we're gonna get a photo of to kind of do our stuff. Now, what makes this... So that's an idea of what the request is supposed to look like. Now, if you don't actually get this done correctly, then instead of you getting a 4-star pose for one of the other characters, you'll get a different effect instead. So it's very tight, but tight. You probably don't know that it even exists, but yeah. Beyonce creating a gem and then shattering it, that is a 4-star. That is what happens normally. If we get the Illumino Orb to happen, then instead of Beyonce creating a gem and then having it vanish, he'll then momentarily destroy it, which you'll probably hear like exposure or something. I'm sure there are other videos you can always look at if you're still struggling. I'll definitely look at a video when this is done, but I figure I'll give it an attempt just to show you where that is. probably the tightest part is what you just saw there. You have to throw aluminum orbs at them while you're at a specific spot. And it can be very tough to get. If this is arguably the hardest one of all of them. So I'll actually do a backup by going for the Pumpkin Boo one and do something else as well while I wait. So we're doing that.
Good luck.
Okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit. Okay, so the next area we're looking for is an area with a waterfall where we can find a hidden Pumpkin Boo on an upper ledge. I think that's actually the same one. But anyway. So for this third Pumpkin Boom, we have to move to an upper ledge of this area. There it is. This one's kind of hidden. Then below the opening to the branching route that leads to the giant crystals, there will be another one hidden later. That's what gets the bigger Pumpkin Boo to appear. And you can't be taking the altar, or otherwise you won't be able to make that appear. We're gonna turn around as we go down to make this easier. There it is. You have to toss aluminum orbs at each of them to cause the Super Pumpkin Boo to appear at the end of the course. Or Super-sized Pumpkin Boo, rather. And then, for one of the other ones, there's one more where I have to get a photo of a sleeping Sableye. So, it's on the right as we go through, which is a little bit tricky to figure out. This one will appear right as you enter the green cave. There you can kind of see it. This Sableye thankfully appears multiple times, so you can, if you miss it, you can always get it in a Lager run. And it's very easy to combine with all of the other quests that you do. That'll probably be a 4-star photo, I'm assuming. Okay, this next one, we'll just see that there's a Pumpkin super size. And yes, that is a cool thing. Alright. Wow, there's lots of supersonics going out, huh?
It's time.
I'm gonna take a photo of that crystal boom in the spot so that I get an idea of where it appears. That is not necessary, but I want to do it anyways, just so I know where it is. Pretty much any 4-star photo of it will be worth a lot of points. And again, it's 4-star just because of it being larger than usual. So that's good. We were able to complete a couple of Pokemon using this. And we completed more than 90% of the quests, and we just completed another 2 in one run. So if everything was done correctly, we'll only have the Steelix one left, as well as the Gem Royalty one. That is probably far the most brutal request in the entire game, and I'll be probably a video to make sure I know exactly how to do that. Because that seems really difficult to do. Because this is 100%, I will be attempting that request. I've talked about requests that have been tight, but that one's almost just as tight. Probably the tightest part is at the beginning. The only sign that you can even attempt the request is if you throw it at a specific spot and then a specific effect appears, then it's possible for some interesting things to happen. Also, we've apparently unlocked all of the requests because now that's starred, so I guess that means that's a good sign. That means we're getting even closer. Alright, let's see what happened. Wow, I see you got it to come down to the ground after all. This is a rare sight. Joltik has a pretty unusual way of feeding itself. That's it. Joltik feeds on other Pokemon static electricity. Nice job getting a shot of it in action. I knew it! Gengar was up to its little tricks down here. Po Grogunk. It doesn't deserve to be picked on like this. I'm sure this wasn't easy to get this picture. It must have taken real effort. Thank you for your diligent research. Oh, you caught it on camera. Now that's what I call a supersized Pumpkin Boo. The entrance, right, they seem to have croaked out a dual-ray me. Yeah, that kind of sounds kind of funny, if you ask me. Huh, you found it? I bet you already knew where it was before I even told you. Ha! Hey, you saw them, and you got a nice photo of it, too. I saw Jifu, I think, but there's something weird about it. Like, am I imagining things, or is its head way bigger than usual? Yeah, see, so it looks like that one can't be completed on my first attempt on that route. Okay. Now that's a mighty but I hope it doesn't cause a cave-in. That's not a good picture for that. It was kind of late, actually, but oh well. Okay, that's a good one. Yep, it definitely eats fruit. Time for me to get my own shot of it. Oh. Oh, it's not mad, and it's even eating that fluffer. I'm jealous that you got to see this. Huh, wait, huh? Its fur was standing up because of a magnetic field? Is that like a field of magnets? Field that magnets go in? Weird, but cool. Okay, so there's only 2 other ones left. One of them, I believe, is that. Yeah, okay, there's gem royalty up there. Another way you can quickly tell which one is completed is if you go to the ones that are not completed, it shows you how many you have left. So we have 4 left to complete in this area, so we're done with most of them. But that being said, that'll be it for this episode. Leave a like if you guys enjoy, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.